Hilaris, who works in Vomenda, set in a different program that we had out of in the southwest region, that the proposal he's giving to the government is that such persons should be brought either at the Olembe Stadium or Bipanda Stadium, filled with people, and then they are lashed publicly.
That would be good.
Yes. But let's look at the issue of meritocracy here. Yeah. Are we not developing also because responsibilities are given to persons who do not have capacity to develop? Because you need technocrats. You would want to ask who are the economists who are advising on the policies, investment policies that are implemented in Cameroon. You would also want to ask who are our road engineers, going by what we are observing on our major highways. And beyond this issue of those who are charged, but the policy of the state itself, if we were to say that we want to develop the agricultural sector, we know the major importers of rice. Why not ask them that you guys are going to import rice for 10, 15 years, you're going to make billions out of it. And the 16, 17, 20 years, we want to see big farm rice, farms of rice developed in Cameroon. And for someone who has imported fish for 20, 25 years, we want to see big fish farms developed across Cameroon. There are persons who are importing this cotton bird and toothpick. We say, okay, we are giving you the license to import this stuff for 5, 7 years, but the billions you're going to make out of it, 10, 12, we want to see you developing industries that will produce these things. Is this not also where we are lacking?
Yeah, we have serious problems in Cameroon and many other African countries. We will talk about this thing about merit, but let's talk about the business. You know, you've been looking at the business and the way we do things. There is a huge difference between a businessman and an entrepreneur. And an entrepreneur looks at a problem differently from a businessman. You know, we have many businessmen in Cameroon, and I guess in Nigeria too. We have a lot of business people in Cameroon. But what we have in Cameroon are not entrepreneurs. They are bayam-selams. But they are very rich, a lot of billions and so on. But with the mindset of bayam, go to China, bayam, and then come to Cameroon, selam. But that is not what can develop Cameroon. This bayam, selam. And we do it for 30 years. Bayam, selam, bayam, selam. That's not it. It can never develop. It kills a country. So you mentioned rice as an example. And we all know that in 2008 there was a food crisis and rioting in Cameroon. And what the government did was to put in place a commission to control the importation of these cereals and to keep the prices down. That was a short-term measure that has become permanent. That thing was not supposed to last for more than two or 3 years, because it takes at most 4 months to grow and harvest rice. It takes 3-4 months to grow and harvest corn, or most of those grains, wheat. Which means that, you know, we could say, okay, in 2008 we probably didn't plan very well, but let's see how in the next 2-3 years we get our farms running. We train so many youths, buy the equipment, bring the technology, bring the seeds and whatever. We have a lot of fertile land, and we show these children how to grow this rice and grow all this, and then we create a system for buying it, and they are not going to be beating themselves. They just use these tractors and run over the whole place and make it happen. That is what we are supposed to do. But from 2008, and we are in 2023, and we are still importing thousands of tons of rice and maize and fish and this kind of thing. So this is lack of planning, lack of foresight, and that's where we are failing woefully. Why? Because the businessman is thinking only of money and gain, but an entrepreneur, how would an entrepreneur look at that problem? The entrepreneur would look at the problem and say, hey, we need food. You see, what is the problem? The problem is we need food to feed our people. The businessman who is a Shylock looks at it this way. I will go borrow money from the banks, go buy that rice or fish and bring it and feed you guys, and then put the change in my pocket or the gains in my pocket. And he keeps doing that all the time. But this is the interesting part. When you go to buy the rice and the fish, you don't buy with CFA, you buy with dollars. And these people who are importing have never created $1. They have never earned $1. And the dollars that they're using to buy are the mama who is farming the coffee and the cocoa, the dollars that the country earns from the coffee and the cocoa. So he comes and takes that money and throws it away. The tree trunks, we sell tree trunks to buy rice and then eat and go to the latrine. So that's not the best way of doing things. Now, an entrepreneur is someone who is surplus, who is in the system, who is in the country, and he looks at it and says, we have a food problem, and we have a lot of youths who don't have work. We have land, we have rain, we have everything. The only thing we don't have is we don't have tractors, we don't have probably very good seeds, we probably don't have the right fertilizers and chemicals. So he says, and we probably don't have the technology. So he assembles all these things together, goes to the bank, gets a little money, and then so he brings in the technicians, brings in the tractors, get the farms, and get people to produce this rice, and he puts tons and tons of rice on the market, produced in the country. So he is helping the economy, he is creating jobs and so on. This is the way we are supposed to be doing things. If we don't do them like that, we are going nowhere. But this is the beautiful thing. The beautiful thing is President Paul Biya has said that we are going in for import substitution, and that's exactly what he meant, that we will have to grow the food that we eat. We have to produce most of the things that we need, because there's a very bad indicator there in the supermarkets, which is not good. You see, our law in Cameroon says that a minimum of 10% of the goods that are sold in every supermarket should be made in Cameroon goods. But interestingly, the people who own those supermarkets are not able to get up to 5% of the goods, because we are not manufacturing. We are not making anything. So in as much as they have the good faith, then we are not making anything. So go to any supermarket, I bet you 95% of everything that you will see there are all imported, and that is not very good. Back now to our merit. Our country has fallen so badly because we are putting the wrong people in the right place. This tribalism, this concours system. Concours are not really what they were supposed to be. Concours were supposed to select the best so that we can put them in those places. But tribalism, man no man, corruption, bribe. So we take the person who can buy the position and then give it to him. We give it to him either because he's from our tribe, either because he has paid a lot of money, either because the sister is our girlfriend. So all sorts of things. So at the end of the day, we have a messed up system where the bright ones are sitting in the quartier and the donkeys are sitting in the chair.